All right. So, is it okay for me to expose a few fallacies among the black community? Is it okay for me to snitch on on my people? Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. So it's interesting that, and oh yeah. By the way, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chris Fax, and the Sola Scriptura. Back with another video. I had to do that in there. So all right. So to get this started, now it's pretty interesting how the black community, ever since like the 60s, it's been like ever since about the 60s, 70s, is that I use the royal we, not me in particular, but we kind of have like a this entitlement feeling. It's this idea of entitlement, but it's stemmed not just from what with the corruption in this society today. No, but it kind of, we can see the seeds being planted way back in the 60s and the 70s, when the rise of all of these movements and such to combat the racial tension in the United States, in America, which is understandable, no doubt. However, in it, there was these militant factions being rising up. We know the one that in particular that I'm addressing, that were rising up, and militant leaders. You know, the one that I'm speaking about, and they will rise up. They will have this voice and would empower the black community, and even in combining it with religion, in particular Christianity and Islam, and nowadays with the Hebrew Israelites, is given like the black community like a sense, like a God complex. Like we look at ourselves, one, as the quote unquote the chosen race, God's people, this and that. So okay, so that means we look at ourselves again like a God complex. We look at ourselves like we can do no wrong. And in that, it's interesting that growing up, especially in my teens, my 20s, and I've always heard the black man in particular, but black women as well, ebony men, ebony sisters, saying, "Oh, everybody wants to be like us. Everybody loves us. People love to hate on us, but they want to be like, they want to be us. They hate us, but they want to be, because they can't be us. Blah blah blah. Some foolishness like that." And it's interesting because I look at, like, excuse me, sir, what makes you enviable among other ethnicities? Why would other ethnicities envy us, the black men in particular? Case in point, with the fashion trends, somebody brought up the fashion trend. This originated in the '90s. Sagging pants. Why would anybody want to do that? It looks stupid. It was completely stupid. It looks like you got a bunch of junk in your trunk. Pause. And that, because of that, and also people don't even wear a belt, by the way. Like 99% of people I see doing it don't wear a belt. And for the dudes who do wear a belt, it's like what? Why are you even wearing a belt? It's stupid. It just makes you look stupid because they trying to run, to somewhere, or in a lot of situations they're trying to run away from the police, but they're sagging their pants, so they gotta hold their pants up, and it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Or they trying to run and catch the bus, or catch the city bus, whatever it is. And now, black men say that people are trying to be us. Other ethnicities trying to be like us. Like, okay, got this stereotype per se, and the victimhood mentality, always thinking that the white man is trying to get me, that cops are trying to get me, those pigs are trying to get at us. always want to shoot us and shoot us in the back, blah 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 blah. The victim mentality, always, this fear mongering, because it originated, because it came from the news. It's the media, the mainstream media sources are festering this. Black men have the highest incarceration rate. Black men have the highest rate of, the black community has the highest rate of single families, unwed mothers, children out of wedlock. Like I said again, black men the highest incarceration rate by a mile. The least educated, the most impoverished. Why would anybody want to try to be like us? I mean, that's a legit question. We got to kill this God complex. And when I tie it into religion, is this: people like to look at, they hearing it from these corrupt, ignorant, non-theological, foolish preachers who, like in James, 5:1, do not be many masters, knowing that you will face a greater judgment. All of these men and women, women pastors, which is unbiblical, are rising up in the black community, and they're ignorant of Scripture, and they look at the Old Testament, what's been making rounds for so many decades, probably a whole century or more or longer, is the little God's doctrine. It's taught by Creflo Dollar here in Atlanta, Georgia, by the way. He's just one proponent of it. The little God's doctrine is that there's a Bible verse, I forget where it is, where Yahuwah is saying, hey, see, I have called you gods. I have called you gods among the people. And this. But he's talking to the religious leaders of that day in a demeaning way, condescending way, if for the people who don't understand it. And when he said gods with a little g, not gods that are like other Elohims in the world, because there is no other Elohim. If people don't understand, there is none other in the heavens. It is only Yahuwah. He is the Almighty. All others are just idols, flat out idols. Whether it be wood carvings, stone, or physical embodiment, you can make an idol out of your family. You can make an idol out of your career. You can make an idol out of your money, your portfolio. They're all idols, false gods. And all those false gods fall under the same umbrella. Their father is Satan. Their father is the devil, the father of lies. So there's only one Yahuwah, and there's only one Elohim in the heavens, and he does whatsoever he pleases. Psalm 115:3, by the way. So they try to extract it from Scripture, from twisting the Scripture into this little God's doctrine, and therefore they go about and also looking at black people are God's people. Like, wait a minute, I thought God's people were those who who confess and believe and walk by faith and not by sight. But hey, maybe I'm talking too much. But those are his chosen people who have fashioned their lives after the model of faith through Abraham, which is what the Scripture says in Genesis, is that Abraham believes, and it was counted towards righteousness. Just believing that because we are born with a darker skin tone, we are quote unquote black. People aren't trying to be like us, and even if there are people trying to be like us, okay. But what good does that give to the black community? All it does is just adds to the pride issue. The matter of pride. And is pride a good thing? And it's wise? No, it's not. All it is just makes a person proud, conceited, heady and high-minded, and ultimately they are no good use for the kingdom, for spreading the message of the gospel all across this globe. That's why I wanted to bring that up about when the individual and the community start having this God complex, you make yourself of no value to the true Elohim of Scripture and to his message of the gospel and fulfilling the Great Commission in Matthew 28:19. People really need to cut this out. They need to kill that noise, because it's nothing but utter foolishness. And in doing so, like again, is in a sense, I remember what the Christian rapper Fanatic said is in the opening of his song, Press On. I don't want to preach to others and I myself be disqualified. Quoting Paul the Apostle, I myself being cast away. People are going to end up being cast away because they can't get over themselves, look past ourselves, and past the trees in order to see the forest that's standing before us. Until next time.